Hey yo, this is Dash, and today I'm going to be talking to you and showing you how to install a optic on the Canik TTI Combat. So I'm going to make sure that the pistol is empty and the magazine is clear, nothing to see here. So the first step is make some working room. I'm going to go ahead and get the optic out of the package. Now the optic I went with is the Holosun EPS Carry. I am a big fan of Holosun optics. This particular Holosun has 3 different options. You have it's a 2 MOA dot, a 32 MOA circle, and a 32 MOA circle with the 2 MOA dot. That is how I run my pistols. And the EPS Carry is an closed emitter, meaning the back part of the optic is glass and enclosed, and as well as the front. The enclosed emitter, what that does or what that doesn't allow to happen is dirt and dust to get down into your optic. And ever since I started carrying with the EPS Carry, I have just simply had to use my shirt to wipe off any dust or lint that accumulates on the back glass, as opposed to having to stick a Q-tip or my finger or blow out the optic in the past. The Holosun comes with mounting screws. It also actually comes with a plate. I did not realize that. But first thing I have to do is we're going to take the slide off of the TTI Combat, simply moving the slide back about quarter of an inch, pulling the takedown tabs, pulling the trigger, pushing forward, lifting up and off. The top of the slide, there are 2 hex screws. I'm just going to unscrew the screws. The tools that come with the TTI Combat, or all Caniks, actually inside of the case, are also where you could find a tool to be able to remove these screws. Gonna remove the screws and set them off to the side for now. The screws are long. All right, I'm gonna flip the slide over to knock the. I was trying to get the washers off. There's washers that are on the plate. The first time you remove this, and I did actually remove this the other day, it is going to be almost like vacuum sealed onto the slide, the cover plate. Tapping it off might work for you. If it doesn't work for you, you're going to need to take the punch that's included from Canik, and there are a few screw holes or holes through the slide. The biggest holes in the slide are where you're going to push from the underside of the slide through the slide in order to knock the cover plate off. No thanks, telemarketer there. So when you remove these screws, you'll see through holes, and you'll see 2 bigger holes. The bigger holes are where you're going to push up on the cover evenly, and that will get you to the point where you can press the cover off. Once you have the cover plate removed, just move that off to the side. Then you can determine whether or not you're going to use the included plate from Holosun, which would sit flush on the pistol, or you can use the plates inside of the Canik box. I'm going to go ahead. There are a few different plates here. This one sits flat and flush. That is not the right one. This one looks to be machined. Let's see, actually, will this work? Nope. Nope. The included Holosun plate isn't going to work. There are also 2 plastic plates. Nope. It's not that one. This is actually a pretty tight fit here. And with that plastic plate, this is the plastic plate with there's a bit of there's like a rise in the front and the back. I'm trying to see if this is the one, or there's a second plate here which only has a rise on the one side. Let's see. This one works, but this one, if I put that in there, it has a space in the back. I'm wondering if once I screw the optic down, if it will take up the space. And no, it will not. It doesn't sit on the plate in the back correctly. Same thing. This plate works in the front, but there's a rise in the back. So let's see what else I can figure out here. The Canik plate does not fit the front properly. I don't know which footprint this is for. Put that back in the box. Let's try this plate again from there we go. So using the included plate from Canik, the plastic plate from Canik with the riser in the front and the back, as well as the plate included from Holosun, everything fits onto the mounting plate with the proper orientation. Now I'm going to look for screws. The Holosun has a beveled edge down in the where it mounts. I'm going to take the screws with the beveled edge or chamfered edge and get them down into the screw holes, just making sure I have the correct ones with the correct length and the correct thread pitch. Just trying to look, see, I think it's these with the wider thread pitch. And it is. These screws come with Loctite already pre-installed. I'm just using the given tool from Holosun to tighten this down. And I will tighten it down and give it a 90-degree turn to tighten it. There are torque specs for this. I've never had an issue with just cinching it down and going like 90 degrees extra. So put the extra plates back into the box. I'm going to put the cover plate into the box with the firearm box, so that I make sure that when or if I need to take the optic off, I know where that box is, or I know where the cover plate is. Next thing is I want to make sure that the optic is on, and you can see that the red dot and the circle is on, which is how I prefer to run my optics. So the dot and the red dot, the circle and the red dot is on. The next thing I have to do is actually try to get this sighted in. I do have a bore sighter, and I will try to do that. So bear with me a second. All right, so I have off camera gotten my bore sighter. So this is a rather inexpensive laser bore sighter. I have the correct adapter. In this particular kit, the bore sighter, the adapter number 5, screws onto the tip of the bore sighter, and the whole kit and caboodle get pushed down into the barrel. It'll kind of self-center. You can turn the bore sighter on, and it is a red light, red laser. Unfortunately, this particular kit, when I ordered it, it was supposed to have been a red and green. The optic that I'm using is a red optic. Can you see where I'm going with this? The red optic with the red laser mean that once I get close, I'm going to lose the optic in the laser. Hence the reason I opted to purchase one with that was supposed to have been red and green. I didn't get red and green. It's red only. Nonetheless, I was able to get everything dialed in. It is pretty spot on, or it was pretty spot on from the factory, being pretty straight and like how I prefer, or like how I like to shoot my optics. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this set up the way that it is, because more often than not, I'll be probably trying to do the same thing with 9mm. Now, with this, what I will do is the next time I go to the range, I will get myself set up and shoot, and we will see where it is. If I need to, I will take the tool with me. The adjustments, or how you adjust the optic, is on the right side of the optic. There's a dial. The dial has an R and a circle, or excuse me, and an arrow. You adjust. I believe the R says the optic says that the R. So moving your point of impact to the right, you're going to need to turn it counterclockwise, and then on the top of the optic is going to be a similar adjustment where you would move the dial left or right, or clockwise or counterclockwise accordingly, if you need to bring your point of impact up or down. It's not very difficult to adjust an optic, but there you are. That is the installation of my EPS Carry on my Canik TTI Combat. So thanks for watching. I guess the next step in this natural progression is going to be taking this to the range and seeing if I shoot better than I did in that video there, where I shot with the irons. I know for sure I'm a more proficient shot with the optic than I am irons, so I'm hoping that I do better. Either way, you'll have to stick around and see what happens in that next video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.